Hello and welcome back to the AFL Enjoys podcast, Supercoach bonus episode time. My name is Dean. I'm joined once again by two fellow enjoyers of the AFL and Supercoach, George Sfenda and James Matsa. How are we, boys?
Good, man.
Yeah, feeling good, man. Generally positive about Supercoach. Generally enjoyers of it.
I think we're all slowly climbing up the ranks, but maybe not as fast as we all hoped.
Slowly climbing.
Very
slowly climbing. But it's like Everest. It takes a bit of time.
It does. And I'll tell you what, I've got a bit of a story to start today's pod, similar to George last week.
George is
I went on a 7-minute monologue.
I'll keep mine a bit shorter, but...
Nah, make it longer, man. Why not?
I'll make it as long as it needs to be.
That's it.
What happened was, boys, I got trapped in LDU gate, as I'm so calling it now. So here's what happened. As you would know, during the week, we message each other, our trade ideas, just bounce ideas off the boys. And I said to myself, you know what, Tanner Bruin, instead of going down or sideways to Zeeble or Setterfield, I'm going to the top of the mountain. I want LDU.
Man's going to Everest.
I'm going to Everest. I want the highest scoring player in the game at that point in time.
You want the creme de la creme.
I wanted it all. I had the glory of LDU in my sights. So I did it. I went downgraded some rookies for some better cash gen rookies, and I went Bruin right up to LDU, which would have left me with pretty much no cash, but I was really excited. And then I'm sitting there as a North fan, ready to watch the game, really raring to go. And what do they announce 5 minutes before the game? LDU laid out with a sore calf.
That's
so
brutal, mate.
Naturally, what would anyone do in that situation? You would scramble and go to your next option. Now, I jump on the app crashes. I swipe out, I try again, app crashes. About 2 minutes to go. I go to the internet instead. I thought, okay, if the app's crashing, the internet won't let me down. The whole website was down. I eventually get in. At this point, I've got about a minute to go before the bounce, okay? I think, okay, what can I quickly do? My second option that I was mulling all week was Zeeble. So I thought, okay, Zeeble's going to take me two actions. Swing a midfielder and open up the forward spot. So I thought, I don't have time even for that.
Yeah.
So I said, okay, Setterfield it is. So I press complete trade. And what does the app say to me? Uh-oh, something went wrong. So I thought, this is just woeful. So I'm pacing, I'm just tapping, complete trade. It just didn't want to go through. The bounce happened. I just threw my phone down. I said, okay, that's it. I'm just having a donut now from LDU, a 0 score on field. Not happy, obviously. I was really fuming. But then, I check 5 minutes later, Setterfield's in my team.
Wow.
Far out.
God answered your prayers,
He
mate.
answered
with
my
a miracle.
prayers, and you know what? It ended up being a better call than Zeeble. And it's probably the better call for the longevity of the season because now I have 215k to play with. And boys, I dodged the bullet. I was sweating bricks though.
Yeah, and you got a half-decent player in Setterfield as well.
Yes.
Who he really stepped it up in the last 3 quarters of the game after having 6 in the first quarter.
6.
Yeah, 6 or 7 perhaps. We'll be generous. Yeah, and he looks decent, man. Like whoever picked him up, I like the fact that they look for him coming out of half back because he's taller, has a bit of presence. That's some story, then.
So yeah, I lived to tell the tale of LDU gate.
There we go.
It was a stressful time, I'll tell you that.
Man escaped the gate.
If you ended with Setterfield, you've done well because I don't have him and I couldn't get him in last week. I prioritized Zeeble because of the rookie kind of who was going to be on field. It's going to hurt me. It's going to hurt me not having him.
I don't. You know what? We'll see how he goes. I don't think it's the biggest loss, but whoever traded him in should be happy. Hopefully he can get up to about the 500k or something at some point, and then we can just move him over to whatever premier you want. Whether it's Laird, whether it's Clary, which he might be impossible to get now.
Yeah, Clary looks good. He's one of the few top primos that is kind of still performing. Who is it? Bont hasn't been great. Laird hasn't been great. Who the other ones that
Doherty in the defense,
Neil
Brayshaw in the
Brayshaw
mids, man. His
Neil,
price is gonna plummet.
Yeah, he might be a good get soon. Neil wasn't good. I'm just trying to think who else. Dunkley hasn't lit the world on fire, but he's still been alright.
He's done it.
He's been okay.
Done enough.
It's always hard to know though. I mean, those premiumly priced midfielders, especially, so tempting in the preseason when you're building your team. You just
Parrish and
expect...
Merritt too. They haven't been amazing.
Merritt's been poor. I've got him in a draft league. He's averaging 98. It's horrible.
Yeah, that's a guy who I was thinking as a pod this year. For a top 10 type dude. Glad I avoided that.
There's just so much value this year in the mid prices in the the 500 players, like even players like De Goey, Tom Mitchell starring. So if you went for a more risky team this year, went for the more mid-price options, you'd be loving it right now.
Yeah. So hard to know though, isn't it? You can't predict that. But anyway,
Go through our scores.
yeah, Matsa, why don't you start us off there? How did you go this week?
This week was my best week. Not the greatest. Actually, you know what? We'll take it. 2197, 2,197, top 16%.
Solid.
That's my best score so far. I'm up to the top 34%. So we're getting there, man.
Climbing Everest, Matsa.
We're going up, man. We're climbing Everest. And helping me to climb Everest was a mountain of a man himself, was Sean Darcy, who basically played against a child in the ruck. So, good on Sean Darcy. He should have got more.
Yeah,
to be honest,
he was 100 at halftime.
Yeah,
And I was 130.
Yeah, I was hoping I needed an 156 to beat one of my mates from work. That didn't work out, but at least the cash leagues went all right. So
Considering how many people traded him out, I'm really wrapped with that 130 even. So good. Finally to get a good score out of him.
Yeah. His price still went down a bit, but
could have been worse.
It really could have. Well, look, if you went down to Darcy Cameron, then you got another trade.
A lot of people did that trade.
And a lot of people did that trade. So at least I avoided that and got a half decent. Actually, it was a good score. Other thing, I kept Kelly. I held on to Josh Kelly. He rewarded me handsomely.
He looks so good, man. He looks so good.
148. Yeah, no, those are my really big positives, and that's why my score came up a bit. Other than that, my team, the typical cookie cutter team. The rest of the scores were, I managed to loop Baker's 95, which was really good. With Hopper out, so that's all good. That sort of defines my week, to be honest with you. I'll go through my trades as well whilst
what trades did you do prior to the round?
The trades, I'm going to say they were a B+, and it was Bruin, Callahan, and Radigalea out for Zeeble, Setterfield, and McKenna. It's decent.
That's a good move.
Zeeble did well. Setterfield did well. The reason why it's not an A+ is that I went with McKenna over Chandler. And that is painful now because Chandler went up like 100 or 80K in one round. Whoever picked him up, whoever had him from the start, whatever, good on you guys. He's going to make you a lot of cash. He'll get up to 300 probably in the next 3 weeks. Yeah. Otherwise, I'm pretty positive that my 5 trades so far this season have positively affected my team. Or positively impacted. So, yeah.
Nice, man. So good to see you, slowly climbing the ranks there. I think your trade was a good one, though, in all honesty.
Yeah.
The McKenna, he scored poorly, but I think his role's really good.
Yeah, and I got to say, I do like watching him play as well.
He's fun.
You don't expect, you'd expect a quick, half-back flanker type dude to just be like a skinny... I don't know, he sounds skinny, McKenna. He sounds like he should be a skinny dude, but he's bulky, man. He just the way he charges and runs forward, it's
a unit, yeah.
He is a unit. He's randomly a unit, so it's cool.
Nicely done. And George, how did you go this week, my friend?
Not very good. 2,106. Okay. So it's a top 39 score. I'm currently sitting top 32%. So somehow still 2% in front of Matsa. I don't know how that happened, but I'll take it. So looking at my team,
what were your trades?
So I got rid of McGovern and got in Nick Dacos, the bane of my existence, Nick Dacos.
McGovern gate.
You decided to stop doubling down on McGovern.
Yeah, I stopped that. And I brought in
something that wasn't mentioned. And there we go. That's a good pickup. I was going to say before we get off the McGovern topic, he really doubled down on McGovern. He offered me a trade in the draft, which I accepted straight away. He offered Blakey for McGovern. I'm like, you kidding me, Blakey for McGovern? Thanks, bro.
Not my best moment. I've thought about that a lot since then.
I know you were trying to avoid it right there. I could tell, but I forgot about it last week. So
I've written in my journal. I've kind of got that out, so thanks for bringing that back.
It hates James, now for stealing Blakey.
I don't know what. McGovern just had a really good showing round one. The kid's a muppet, honestly. He's a muppet. I mean, anyway, I still think he's gonna find some form, but no, it's not a Supercoach pick.
You got to get Dacos in.
So I got Dacos. I got rid of Flanders for Zeeble. And that was good because Flanders got injured.
He's been a horrible pick for those that got sucked in by the preseason. Yeah. You'd be really disappointed.
Now that I look at my team and I go, oh, this is a decent team, it's crazy how much has changed from Flanders, Bruin, Callahan.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then I got rid of Chester for Chandler. So that was at least a good pick. Chester's not an option. I think he was injured as well.
Yeah, he went up maybe 10, 20K. He's got 40. But like, I look, to go to from him to Chandler.
Yeah,
great
so
trade.
Chandler's 206 and he was 123. So big money
move.
there, which is good. My problem with my team is Finn Callahan. He's got a break even of, I think, 69.
What did he score?
He scored 37.
Oh, that's why.
So
Yeah.
he did get injured, but was he injured last week?
Last week
Yeah.
he got the injury.
Look, the
cloud.
thing is, he's up against Carlton this week. Tough midfield. Conditions were terrible. Everyone played poorly.
especially for a winger. Yeah.
So, look, he could score better in other games, but, I mean, he's under the roof this week. But even a 69 for him, he has to go. So we were talking before, if Will Phillips maybe gets a game, maybe he's a downgrade option. But
Yeah.
but Will Phillips' job security is not great, is it?
It's not. It's not. And it sucks as a North fan because I do want to see him play. But yeah, there's so many. We've got so many inside mids. Inside mid depth is huge, and there's only really two really really good ones at this point. So anyway,
So the Warple also got 45. So Warple's a bit of a point of difference for my team, or at least it was round one. His ownership might have gone up, but 45 for him, not great. Apart from that, it's a pretty stock standard team. I mean, I had led captain 114. Not massive, but there wasn't a lot of big scores in my team. It was actually the third biggest score in my team, other than Darcy and Sheasel.
so he did pretty well, I guess, on the captain. pick.
Yeah, I guess so.
She's all top 10 overall scorer.
Yeah. Do we start putting VCs and Cs on him?
Man,
No.
he's been amazing. He's 116 average. He went from 198,000 to 304, which I haven't seen that
In
before.
one price jump. That's incredible.
Which is
Yeah.
crazy. I did get the Oscar Baker loop with Hopper, like yourself, which worked.
Mm.
Apart from that, 30. I've made 6 trades, so I've got 30 trades left. So bit of a school round with the defense. My story was a bit like yourself.
Oh, really?
I was looking at my team Friday night. I was like, what do I do? What do I do? What do I do? And then 2 minutes left. I had the crazy idea. The devil on my shoulder said, George, do something crazy.
Bring
I'm
him
like,
McGovern again.
and I was like, I'm
Trade him out for
I'm
Jeremy.
doubling down on McGovern.
That's it. Mitch to
again.
Jerez.
Not
to
actually.
Jezza.
I actually thought this is the trade: Doherty to Dacos,
Ooh.
and then keep the Zeeble option from Flanders and turn Callahan into LDU.
Oh. You would have been stuck if you did that.
And I'm like, that's it. That's what I'm doing.
That would've
hedge
been-
against Doherty because I don't think Doherty's been good.
Yeah.
Right?
We need to speak
McGovern's
about his
still
game
cheap.
as well. Yeah.
McGovern's
Yeah.
still cheap, so
What did he get, McGovern?
don't know.
You don't want to check just in
Probably
case
like
he
a
did well.
60 or 70, right?
Oh, standard.
But I thought get LDU in, and just like yourself, I saw the time, and I'd already made 3 changes, and you can't reverse to get it back to the team where it was before. You have to like click a play to get out. It was too confusing, and I'm like, I'm gonna have to make too many moves. I'm gonna have to make too many moves, and I'm screwed up because I need Dacos. So I had to
get him in.
How do I like reverse the Dacos McGovern trade to get Doherty? And the maths was too hard, and I'm like, I can't do it. I was like freezing, and then the time ran out. I'm like, shit, I screwed up. That was the option, and it wasn't. It was not the option.
It would have been such a good trade though if LDU played because
I-
I love that that new those new players you would have brought in. But
Yeah, so I don't know. And the thing about Doherty is he's getting the ball, but the guy's been a mupper with the like. I haven't seen him kick the ball properly under pressure the whole year. Clang Essential, we saw it from his fantasy score to his Supercoach score, 39 possessions for an 87.
I actually had the VC on him, to be honest.
and you would have been thinking, oh, look at these posies, this is good, but
Just never turned.
He's
No.
sloppy, man. He's sloppy.
Yeah.
Mm.
I think just quietly as well, George, we might need to take your phone off you and your laptop. Well and truly, maybe like 2 hours before the start of the games.
Yeah,
I think you're banned.
my mind's racing. This week,
This week you're banned.
there's not a lot I can do anyway, unless I trade out Laird for like
Good, because you're banned.
Setterfield or something.
No trades for you this week. You're banned from trading. Fair enough. Again, it looks like we're slowly climbing the ranks, but none of us have really like taken a massive jump of ranking, which is unfortunate.
Nah, that's right.
What
What about we'll talk about the Enjoys team?
yeah,
I'll get through my ranking first.
Oh,
if you don't
sorry,
mind.
Dean.
Enjoys team
Too
more
excited.
important.
Too excited.
Nah,
Yeah,
go
no,
for it,
fair enough,
Dana.
because I did speak in the beginning. But my overall score for the week was 2,163. Now, I did mention the LDU gate chaos, but just
Saga.
the whole saga was wild. Still recovering from that. But overall, the trades I did was Chessa, Radagalia, and Brune out for Long, which turned out to be a decent little pickup.
Yeah, wow.
Had his best game yet, Chandler, so didn't miss that boat.
Mm.
And I've written here LDU, but bracket changed to setters. So
Good
that
trades.
was the end trade.
Good trade. Sets up your team well.
Fantastic
I've got
trades in there.
215k in the bank, so I'm waiting to see when I'll use that. This week, unless I get injuries unexpectedly or a suspension, then I think I'll just hold and wait on that one. But
You could even go early. Like if Setterfield has another couple half decent games, gets up to about 450, you can go up to like, I don't know, some decent midfielder.
Well, I can
Someone
already
that's dropped,
Yeah.
if a Brayshaw's gone down or
You could do that now, Brayshaw.
Setterfield,
Yeah.
well, yeah, even Warple, like 338. I've got 215 in the bank, so any of those 550 and over,
what about Degoe? Would you look at Degoe? He's playing serious
I'm
football.
not going to force it
Yeah.
if I don't need to, but he's on the radar for sure. I too looped Baker, which was nice. I ended up fielding Cohen from Carlton just because Constable got dropped and I wasn't sure if it was going to be at the sub or
I
not.
did the same, yeah.
I wanted to field Wilmot's score, but I thought, you know what, let's just get Cohen in. So I ate 18 points there, which was unfortunate.
How many points did Cohen get?
He got 51.
Oh, okay.
Wilmot was 69. So I would have ideally just kept Wilmot.
Cowan was 51 and 3/4 time. He just didn't touch it.
Yeah, that's what happens with the young players, though, I guess. I had the VC on Doherty, as I mentioned, but ended up sticking it on Laird. And 114 is not bad, but I was expecting a little bit more.
He was about 80 points
Kicked
with
the goal.
10 minutes left. Kicked that big goal, had a couple of big clearances, went boom.
That was nice to see. I stuck with Shrek, Sean Darcy, the human sausage, so I was happy to see him reward me a little bit. Now, I can just go up to English if I want. He got a nice big score this week, but he was playing a Paul Ruckman, so I might just say, you know what, let's get the best player in the game at the moment in Tim English. So
I wouldn't judge you for that at all. I wouldn't judge you
that's
for
well
it
and
at all.
truly on the cards, but
Yeah.
I think overall, I'm pretty happy with the moves I'm making. Just a little bit of bad luck there, but it could have been a blessing in disguise, the LDU delay.
What about, because I know you started Tom Stewart and you both started Tom Stewart.
don't-
That's salt in the wind,
That-
160.
I know after only one game out, but Dacos came in for me, so I'm cool.
Again,
Sucks for you because you brought in Ridley, who I've got a bit of beef with Brad Scott. Apart from the fact that you made Brent Harvey and Drew Peachy retire, I don't know if it was you, but I'm blaming you.
Look at the camera.
I'm looking deep into the camera, right in the barrel. Now you don't let Ridley play the last 10 minutes and you leave him on 98 Supercoach points or whatever it was. Come on, man. Help us out.
Yeah, come on.
Trying
Man.
to screw us over one more time. Get out of here. Brad
He's got an
Scott.
agenda against you personally, I think.
You do.
And
You
me.
do. I've had enough.
Did you watch the press conference? He mentioned you by name.
Did he? He's
Yeah.
like, oh, James Matsa super coach, man. I can't let him get too big ahead.
He
No
and Chris
Ridley.
Scott, they
No
love-
Ridley tons
yeah.
for that boy.
They love being philosophical in their post-game presses, especially when they're losing. But anyway,
Yeah. So when they brought up the net a random, James Matsa, and I was like, the journalist was like, what's going on?
might have to
here?
respond to that. You got called out. We'll give you a chance to watch it and respond another day, maybe.
That's it. Next YouTube short.
Start a Twitter war or something like that.
Done.
Matza v. Brad Scott. But yeah, I think I rise in the rankings again. I'm pretty confident my team will continue to rise from here. So
Your team seems good.
I
it's
like
okay. It's okay.
the fact that you got Noah Long and no one has him.
And the funny thing is, actually, now that
Yeah.
you mentioned that, the whole LDU situation, I could only afford LDU by not getting Hollins, which I actually wanted. I had to choose Long over him. So not only did the LDU gate cost me LDU, but it actually allowed me to get in Setterfield, who's looking good, and Noah Long as the rookie instead of Hollins, who, considering they're averaging about the same, if not Long's a bit higher, and he's cheaper.
And
Somehow
his job security is rock solid.
It's really good. And he's a good player. I watched the
Yeah.
game today. So
Yeah.
I'm very lucky, to be honest with you, but I'll take anything I can get at the moment.
That's
It
it.
says rapid hands under pressure, mate. Minute 30, still got it done.
Oh, man.
The fact that it said that there was an error
Oh,
and
it
you
was,
still got it. I
swear to God.
the
Yeah,
Supercoach
yeah,
gods have blessed you.
It was crazy.
Yeah, no, that's
Um,
awesome. That's a good, feel good story from the LDU situation because that 5 minutes before the game, and like I was messaging you. I messaged you saying get LDU out. I can't remember.
I had the VC on him as well. Yeah, you messaged me.
Yeah.
Shout out to Matsa. Some flowers for Matsa.
Yeah, did you knew about it before I messaged you though? Yeah.
I was trying to fix my team, so maybe
Yeah,
you
so
slowed
you
down
probably-
my internet then.
yeah, maybe it was my fault, man.
No, flowers for Matsa.
Yeah.
The true brother. He sends me trade LDU out in capital letters right before
Trade
the
him
game.
out.
So
Yeah.
well done to you, my friend.
Nah,
It's a shame because he would have gone big, I think.
I had the VC on him.
I
was ready
don't.
to
I
go.
don't know. The thing is, he would have been tagged for sure.
Mate, no one can tag LDU.
McGuinness.
Yeah. But
Untaggable, mate. It's untaggable.
I hope so.
Um,
I see. That's the thing. This week, because his price didn't go up. Can you wait? Do you have Warple?
Yeah,
Do it, buddy. Do it.
Do it, bro.
Do
You're
it.
not far off it.
No,
You
but
just got to do one more like little downgrade, and you
What-
should have
do we
enough
know what
cash.
his
I can afford
break-even
him. I
is?
can afford him.
Do we know what his break even
Straight
is?
from wait, sorry.
Warple's 338.
Can you go Warple straight to LDU?
I'll do it now live on the pod.
Do it on the pod. I'm curious. I want to know if you can actually do it because if you do, you better do that.
Oh,
trade.
you know what? He's 553.
Nah, see, that's the
can't.
thing. Yeah, nah, I had a feeling.
So
The
what
math
is he?
didn't
He's
work in my head.
571, isn't he?
If I can type correctly.
Yeah, I think he's 570.
Yeah,
What's his break even? Is
557. I'm only 4K off.
oh 550.
That's harsh. No, I'm not going to do it. I won't do
yeah.
it.
I was going to say that Brayshaw's gone down to 573 with a break even of 139. Does he get a consideration over maybe next week?
He'll probably drop again. Yeah.
Yeah, I think if he gets like a 120 or something this week and goes down a little bit, I think I'd be pretty tempted to try to get him in because we can't just no recency bias here. We know who the good players are. He's one of the good players in the AFL, and for Supercoach as well. Looking at the Enjoyers team,
Yeah, we had LDU in that team though, didn't we?
yeah, and then we ended up getting Philippu's score. We didn't have Baker as the emergency, which is my bad for organising the team. It was a 2056.
Okay.
2056.
It's our worst score yet, isn't it?
Yeah, top 50% of the round, but we're still in the top 11%.
So we went back 7%.
Yeah.
So 8%. We were 3, weren't we? Yeah,
Yeah.
8%.
So this was a team where we had Darcy Cameron from the start, so we're going to have to figure out what we can do. We're about 10K off Brodie Grundy, which would have been sweet. We've got a couple mid prices in there, Warple and Powell. I don't know. They might have to get moved.
I think Warple's okay. Powell probably should be changed.
Yeah. It
do
was
we-
fun while it lasted.
Who do we downgrade now to though?
That's the thing. There's no one. Amadi. Like, there's a few. You know what? You could still go someone like Noah Long
Actually,
or Caminiti, who's cheap still.
well, do you go early on Van Ruin because Ben Brown got subbed out? They were pretty happy with Van Ruin's performance today. I don't know how cheap he is though.
I
probably
think he's a 123.
123.
Yeah,
It's very early.
it is. It is for a key forward as well. I don't know.
I'm not comfortable with it.
Nah, neither. It's something we'll
I think you could go
discuss.
Caminiti over Van Ruin.
Yeah.
Caminiti still got till Max King comes back. Still, I don't know, maybe 5 weeks or something.
Yeah, man, he might even play with Max. King.
Yeah, he looks good, man.
Yeah, no, he works hard. He's very mobile. Yeah, no, it's not like he's gonna disrupt Max King's game by having him there because Max King's the hulking sort of forward, whereas Caminiti can move up the ground. Like they can. He's a bit more. He's versatile by the looks of it.
Can we go Powell to Phillips?
But-
Yeah, and then we could just go Cameron up to English and
Mm.
don't have to worry about Rux ever again. Hopefully.
That's probably a decent move if Phillips is named.
Yeah, Phillips is like we were saying it earlier. The job security for Phillips is not great, which is annoying because pick 3, we want to see him out there and getting reps. But yeah, that's that's pretty much it. Kerno in the team got 107, so that pick's looking kind of cool.
He'll probably kick a
Uh-huh.
bag against North, to be honest, with no Logan, no Mackay.
Might have to wait. What VC?
We actually, honestly, probably should.
Yeah, VC Kerno for the
Or
week.
Cripps. We've got Cripper, but
Yeah,
probably Kerner.
and LDU and Dacos against Brisbane in the first game. And is that game? Oh, it's at the Gabba. Oh, nice and dry conditions. You think in Brizzy? Yeah. Let's go. Oh, my phone's going crazy. Let's go through some VC options and captain options. Dacos gets a mention because he plays on the Thursday at the Gabba.
Neil, if you have Neil, I don't know too many people that do, but
Yeah, you'd think that he has to respond.
yeah.
At some point. LDU because Carlton don't tag, but you guys are very constrictive with scoring.
Yeah, I think teams don't score, midfielders don't score well against Carlton.
And fair enough with that dominant midfield that
You've
you
got
guys have.
Cripper as an option. You've got Kerno in our case.
I don't
think
mind
we can
Cripps
kick
as an
it
option.
back.
He's still playing good footy. I mean, he got 42
Mm.
possessions. He didn't score a big Supercoach score because just the type of conditions it was.
And North
but-
goes head to head in the midfield. We're not going to tag anyone.
They're not going to tag. No.
Something to pay attention to if you have led. Aish went to Kelly in the contests during the game. So, and I noticed that particularly because I have Tim Kelly in my draft team. So I noticed that and I'm like, get off him.
You know who might
Get away,
might
Ash.
BC actually in my personal team? Doherty against North. North kind of butchers the ball going forward. You'd figure there's a few intercept marks to be had there.
Yeah.
It's not a bad option.
See,
if he
that's
cleans up
interesting.
his possession, then he's a good pick. He gets
As
the
a
ball.
VC, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, under the roof.
GWS plays Sunday as well, so we got time with cheeky Madden.
So if there's a little bit of a concern with Laird, Matsa, would you then think potentially Bont at the G against the Tigers because they don't tag? That's an option.
He hasn't been very. He's played well this year, but he hasn't scored well.
Nothing too big. Yeah.
No, I don't know if I'd back in the Bont.
You know what? Even for North VC Shees, get your 115, get it sorted.
I'll tell you what, the ball probably be in that back line quite a bit, so he'll take some kickouts. He'll get involved.
You can't really rule it out. So, but yeah, I don't know. The captain options I'm a bit uncomfortable with.
I think you got to nail the VC this week. It looks.
Just hope not to worry about it.
I think you got to nail the VC.
Yeah, or maybe you just go like a day cost into one of the players on North v Carlton.
I don't mind the VC Doherty. I'm obviously critical of him because I don't think he's been great, but he's going to get the ball. We could do like a Charlie Kerner just for fun, but in reality, I think someone like a Cripps, if you've got him against the North midfield, works.
Yeah, but Davies in. Look, it's not going to be all one way against the North's midfield.
No, he shouldn't.
Because Davies, Cunners, Simpkin, I think Cunners will look better with LDU there. You know what I mean? He'll create more of an impact than he did last week.
And I think North, not that we didn't know this already, but we looked very bad in the middle, especially without Simpkin and LDU. So I think the boys will be right up for it.
In the midfield
big
battle,
occasion,
at least.
Friday night footy, our first and probably only Friday night game of the year. It's something we've tried hard to keep is that Friday night game. So I think the boys will be up for it in the middle. So that's giving me somewhat a bit of hope that we can get the ball and kick a few goals. But I still think Doherty. I'm actually liking Doherty as my VC, to be honest. North, like I said, we kind of just kick the ball and hope sometimes.
But for the Enjoyers team, we don't have a reliable captain after that game, do we?
LDU.
That's
the same game.
Yeah, I think we got to go Dacos VC.
Yeah, Dacos
who's
into one of those
who's
dudes.
Hawthorn versus Geelong?
Geelong. Sissels.
Sissel is an option. Yeah.
Jimmy Sissels. He hasn't had any huge scores, but Sissels is,
What about Tom Green against Essendon?
Yeah. That's him versus Setterfield, basically, as the big body mid.
I don't think Tom Green's shown a big ceiling just yet.
We don't have Tom Green in this team anyway. But
Oh, okay.
yeah, we could get him at some. We'll get him eventually. Oh,
You mentioned as well the Cameron situation. I think we've sort of avoided it, but a lot of people out there that might be watching would have
apart from the
Cameron on
Enjoys
the
team,
team.
apart from the Enjoys team, which started from the start, so it doesn't hurt as much.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. So what would you think of the logical options, assuming you have maybe a little bit of cash to play with? So maybe you can go sideways to Grundy, but maybe you can't. Say you've got no cash and no realistic trade options. What are you doing at that point? There's no real other cheaper ruckman doing
You might
anything.
have to do 2 trades.
Yeah.
You might have to. And unless you have him in your forward line instead, you might be able to downgrade to a Zeeble if you don't have him. Kerno. It's a tough situation, man. But
There's no other rocks around that price, is there? No.
There's no easy trade, is there? Yeah, you have to get creative.
You know what? I'm gonna just hit
How
trade.
much did Darcy Cameron go up in money? What's he at?
He's up to 44.94. I'm gonna look at players that we can afford because we only have 5K in the Enjoys team as a in the bank. The next best player is Matt Flynn, and then it goes Tom DeConing, McInerney, the child that versed Darcy in the ruck. There's just Luke Jackson.
You got to go up.
I
think you got to try and get English.
Yeah. There's nothing there.
Should I do that? Darcy to English?
No, but I don't think you need to get rid of Darcy.
It's a luxury trade.
I wouldn't do it.
You know what though? You look at the schedule for Darcy. I don't think it's great. He got 130 against a child, and he should have got more. He really should. So, I shouldn't be disrespecting Bailey Williams. He's just short. He just looks like a kid compared to Darcy. He's
inexperienced.
Tim English looks just irresistible at the moment. Like if you don't own him, you're losing 40 points on the next best ruckman at the moment. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. You know, I'm not against you doing that I'm not against you doing that as a trade. I'm not against it. Look, even the Darcy Cameron trade, for those who did it, it was a good move. It was a good move because he was at 84 up to 3/4 time, and he looks great. it was just unfortunate that he got injured.
Are there any other holes in your team you'd like to fix? Because going like Darcy to English, it's chasing points, but if there's structural errors you can still fix, might be better with that 200k.
Pretty happy with the rookies I've got. I've got Ridley. So in my defense, it's Doherty, Dacos, Ridley. I'm not overly keen on wasting a trade trying to fix that. I'll sort of just let it play out.
Yeah.
I think Ridley should at least average a 95.
Yeah.
So he's not going to bleed too much cash. And Brad Scott just playing more minutes. Let's not go there again.
In the middle, I've got
Made me
Laird, Bont, Green, and then Setterfield, Warple, Hopper, and a few rookies. So again, I don't know what the logical move would be there. I could go up, like I said, maybe an early upgrade of Warple to a mid-price.
If he has another
550.
bad game and his break-even starts to rise even more,
I think that's
then
when I pull
maybe
it.
you ditch him.
I think, honestly, this week is a hold week, even though I'd be very tempted. But
Now that the price rises are in, we're kind of a bit locked and restricted. So
yeah. And I do have 215k, so it might pay to just be a little bit patient and make the right move rather than try to rush it.
That's it. Someone will come up at a really good price and you can go just a one player straight up to them and you're going to be laughing. So
that's probably the smart move, but I can be a bit erratic during the week. You guys like sort of level me on the pod and then I go a bit crazy.
Yeah, well, even going LDU was pretty aggressive at the time because you were like, no, I'm not going to go the cheaper mid-price value options. I'm going to go for the big boy, which I liked.
Yeah, I mean, he was starring. So
I'm going to do it again. English is in, boys. Let's go. Nah, fair enough. All good. Any other talking points? Actually, we did get a comment in last week's video asking for some advice on his team, so I hope Kanga Jacob, I believe it was. I hope you listened to our recommendation because we recommended you hold on to Grundy and you fix up your rookies, and that turned out to be a good call. So thanks for leaving the comment. If anyone else has any questions, feel free to ask them. We're not experts, but
we can at least give our 2 cents. And I think it's good to bounce off your ideas off another person. If that needs to be us, then check us a comment.
We're 1 for 1 with good advice. So
yeah, exactly.
100% record.
That's it, man. That's it.
We're better giving advice for other people than ourselves, right?
Yeah, exactly. The disposal efficiency is pretty good at the moment. So, and that's all that matters in Supercoach. One of the big things. So yeah,
that's it. Stock's rising. Well,
that's it.
I think that's about it for today's episode, boys. Thanks again for watching, everyone. Feel free to give us a good rating on Spotify, 5 stars there. Like and sub on YouTube. We'll probably
Instagram,
Twitter, enjoys AFL,
all
Instagram, all that stuff.
All of that.
Yeah, send us your teams. Like we said, we're happy to help, and we'll catch you on the next one.
Thank you, guys. Good luck.
Trade in English.
And LD.